along with MTech and BTech degrees in aerospace and aeronautical engineering from JNTU, Hyderabad. He has also earned a postgraduate diploma in Curtin Laws from Nalsa University of Law, Hyderabad. With over 13 years of experience in teaching, research, and industry, Dr. Rao has worked in reputed institutions and has expertise in aerospace structures, composite materials, drones, and UAVs, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, and advanced manufacturing technologies. He has published more than 50 research papers in reputed Scopus and SCI Index journals and holds 18 intellectual property rights, including 13 granted design patents. His outstanding contributions have earned him several recognitions, including the prestigious IEI Young Engineer Award in Aerospace Engineering 2024-25. Dr. Rao is actively involved in advanced research projects in aerospace structures, renewable energy systems, and sustainable engineering materials. He has also delivered numerous invited lectures, workshops, and faculty development programs on emerging technologies. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. H. Jeevan Rao and thank him for graciously accepting our invitation to share his valuable insights on innovation, pattern searching, and research publications with the participants of this STTP. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you so much. Really, it was a splendid, overwhelming intro. I really appreciate and I really thank the organizers of this STTP who invited me to share my knowledge in the very vast areas on this globe. So today, I'm very happy to meet you all. So within this 2-hour session, I may not say all my experiences or I may not share complete knowledge, but whatever the topics which is prescribed by the committee, so I will be able to do that. So innovation, patent searching, and research publication. So these are the niche areas as on today. So I'm going to talk for almost 1 hour, 5 minutes or 1 hour, 10 minutes. So remaining, I would like to interact. So before that, if I finish my session, so feel free to ask me and interact with me so that you can get something which you might unknown. And even with your questions, I can also enlighten myself in a different domains. So I'm very happy that I always say that many researchers work very hard, but the papers or patents or any work they do, sometimes it take huge time or they will be rejected. So that time they were feeling very nervous and irritated, and they are going to stress and depression. So that is because of they don't know the appropriate way or the appropriate approach. So today we are going to see. So my presentation is in presentation mode right now. Anybody can reply?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. So today I'm going to cover 3 parts of my presentation. So in that, the first part is the innovation, the second part is the patent search, and third one is the research publication. Then I will summarize the session. Then we will have a discussions. So exactly what is a innovation or IP or patent? So that we will first discuss. So exactly what is intellectual property? If it is intellectual property, what is the criteria to meet, and what is the provisional and complete specification and contents of complete specification, and understanding the FER, then prosecution timelines and international patent process. So this we are going to discuss in a first part. So initially, we will discuss. So intellectual property, IP. So many people say IP. So IP is nothing but intellectual property. The intellect, anybody on this globe who can create this. Okay, your idea or your thought process, it should have the inventive step or a novelty, industrial applicability, then which is going to be patent or IP. So these are like a basically property. So you will be owning a property house, you will be owning a plot. In the similar way, this your brain which creates the idea, if that idea which is satisfying these three points what I said, novelty, inventive step, industrial applicability, so then which is going to be the patent. So that will be the property, that will become your property. So these properties which are tangible and intangible. So tangible means you can touch and you can feel. Intangible means you can document, but you cannot touch, you cannot feel. But once that intangible property clicks, then you can touch the money, right? That is the power of this property, intellectual property. So there, cars, buildings, even whatever the blazer I'm wearing, this blazer, whatever the laptop I'm using, this laptop, everything which comes under tangible. So in intangible, I said we were talking about it, intellectual property. So there, the industrial properties and copyright, designs, patents, trademarks, and geographical indications, like everything which will comes under this intangible property. Let us say, for example, I want to tell a few examples. So if we take Alibag, that is the place which is located in Maharashtra, there the white onion, that is a GI tag which is given to that particular area. Then if you take Kashmiri Pashmina, so that is given to the Kashmir. Then from our Tamil Nadu, so halwa, that one of my friends residing there, that halwa is given as a GI tag. So like this, there are means those rights, whatever your intellectual brain which will create the value, that will be protected under these patents, designs, and trademarks. So basically we are now we are in the stage of, like, basically every human which is like who's having a reptilian brain and mammalian brain and necrotic brain. So usually now whatever these patents, designs, trademarks, which all are come from your necrotic brain, but always your mammalian brain which is opposing, or your reptilian brain which is not giving the scope to open up. So today on this stage, on this platform, I'm freely telling you, always try to activate your necrotic brain. Okay, ask shut to your reptilian and mammalian brain. Okay, so then you all can file the patents, or you all can do the wonders. So then here you can see we were talking about intellectual property, which refers always the creation of your mind. So as I told, this all intellectual the intellectual property which is surrounded by patents, designs, copyrights. One more time I'm saying. So these inventions in multiple directions, right? You can, if you're an artist, you can create a value in your artistic work. If you are a designer, you can create a value in the designing field. Okay, so whatever innovatively you will be able to do, so that can get the value to your personal or yourself. So I want to tell at this particular time, I want to tell every day, give a 20 minutes of time yourself and try to keep a book, write the ideas. Though it is frivolous, though it is a, though that idea is not impossible, okay, just write it, and you just put a date, write it, and document it for the 40 days. Then come to me and discuss. At least you will be able to find a one great invention. That is the power of your brain. So what I would like to say is, you have to open up your thought process, then you will be able to create the intellectual property rights. Then the definition according to the section 2 subsection 1J. So the invention means new product, something, the product or the thing which should have some newness. Okay, so along with that, we should have some inventive step, and we should have a novelty, and we should have a industrial applicability. So always, whenever you are looking at the IP, intellectual property, in any form, whether it is a design or a patent or a copyright or anything, you have, that should be qualify these three criterias. So only inventions are patentable. You have to understand, only inventions are patentable means invention should qualify these three criterias. Am I audible? Anybody can respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you're audible, sir.
It's going fine, right?
Yes, sir. Yes. Good.
Yeah. So according to the section 21L, so the new invention, so which covers the novelty. So here the new invention means any invention or technology which has not been anticipated by publication in any document or used in the country or elsewhere in the world before date of filing your patent application. That means if you got an idea, simply if you go and if you do some experiment, if you publish in a paper, then which will not be patented. So if you got any idea, any, like if you feel that idea which is having a worth, so then immediately before you are discussing to anyone, you should take a NDA agreement. You know, from Tamil Nadu, like one of the finest companies who made a dosa machine. This dosa machine idea I got in 2013, but that time people were yell at me. Okay, I used to discuss like many ideas, but people used to look at me. Then I never went back, but that comments, they were like made me not go with those ideas, like those comments. So that's why always keep active your necrotic brain and don't keep others' words and don't stop your efforts. Okay, if you keep on putting your efforts, then definitely you will become an inventor and a good researcher. Okay, then yes, so here you can see, I think, will you able to see the cattle, right? So according to the 21JA, the inventive step means a feature of invention that involves technical advancement, which is comparing to the existed knowledge, or we should have the economic significance or both. That makes the invention which is a non-obvious. If something which is obvious, which is not an invention, right? So like if someone is skilled like you should not feel that which is obvious thing. What is there in that? If you feel that, then which is not a invention. So you have to, whenever you look at a product, okay, whenever you look at a pen, whenever you look at a bottle, whenever you look at a chair, whenever you look at any article, okay, you have to think whether, which is the obvious thing, what you can make non-obvious to the skilled society. Okay, that is a inventive step of any IP. Okay. Then the capable of industrial application section. So here section 21 AC, which is saying the capable of industrial application in relation to an invention, means the invention is capable of being made used by industry. That is the industrial applicability. Whatever the non-obvious thing you are making, that non-obvious thing should be applicable, should be used in the industry, which is according to the section 21 AC. Then if you come to the inventions which are not patentable, if you like you have a, there is a patent like every year the our body which is delivering book, like patent law book. So you can see in the patent book, if you go through the section 3 and section 4, you will get all details about the inventions which are not patentable. Okay, so if you look at some of the like related things, let us say my area now, like as of now where I'm working, drones, and like drones are not required any like in the drones, like the defense drones which are not required any certification from the DGCA. In a similar manner, related to atomic energy, which is not patentable. Okay, so like what are the things which are not patentable, that also we should know while going to the patent. Then according to the subsection A of a section 3, so the innovations which are frivolous and which claims anything obvious contrary to the well-established natural law is not patentable. For example, here you can see the inventions that are against to the natural laws, that are any machine giving which is 100% efficiency, that is a perpetual motion, which is not patentable. Okay, any machine giving output with 100% input cannot be considered as obvious, right? Which cannot be patented. So you have to understand what can be patented and what cannot be patented. Then you will be able to get your IP. Then at the same time, like I want to highlight like some of the mechanical engineers and like aerospace engineers and like different domains of people are here. Let us say, for example, on natural fibers, if we are doing the work, okay, we will not able to do the patent of a plant, but we can do the patent, the fiber which we can get from that plant. And if we do some product, so then you can go for the product patent. If you are doing, if you are innovating a novel process, that can be patented. I hope like you are understanding what I'm saying. Anybody, single person? Yes, right? You can. Yes. So here I want to give an example of a very friendly device. Okay, some patent which is developed by one innovator. So it's a beer bella. So this beer bella is a small removable umbrella that approximately give to 7 inches in a diameter and attach it to the beverage container. So which is protecting from the sunlight, whatever the sunlight and the heat which is impinging on the bottle, which is protecting, which is patented. So here you can see one more thing. Getting a dimple is not as easy getting a pimple, right? So many people love looking pimple chicks. Sorry, dimple chicks, not a pimple chicks, right? So this is also an invention in 1986. So one innovator who developed a dimple drill. So he claims, like what he claims is, the people were unhappy because they were not born with the dimples. So they could use this apparatus and they can get the dimple, right? So this is the invention. Then the types of the applications in a patent. So there are two types of applications are there. One application is a provisional application. One application is the complete application. So that we can say it as a provisional specification and complete specification. So the provisional specification is the best way to protect your idea for a time being, which is not a permanent solution for your idea, permanent rights on your idea. Okay, so in this provisional specification, you no need to explain the whole detailed innovation. So there, like, you have to give the basic data on the form, then you can file the provisional specification. So there, the filing date or the priority date shall be protected under this provisional specification. If not filed with a prescribed time, the patent will be abandoned. So there will be a, once you have filed a provisional specification, you have to file a complete specification within the 18 months of time. Then which will be, if you are not doing it, so then which will be abandoned. Then the complete specification, so which consists of all details. You have to give a minute to minute details, and you can file directly from the beginning or after 18 months. So need to file within a 12 months date of filing of a provisional specification. Okay, so here I want to say one more thing. So the patent is a kind of elephant you are owning. Okay, always my friends or my gurus, they used to say, hey Jeevan, like, you are filing a patents. Then how will you able to feed it? Because if, like, as a person, we will have this much food in a day, but the elephant will have a huge food. So this patent also like an elephant, okay, which needs many formalities, many forms we have to file, many fees we have to pay. So that is the reason, if you planned such a way that, like, the government is giving many schemes, so if you follow them, so you will be able to get discounted and the elephant food size might be reduced. Okay, so then this is the content of the complete patent application. So that is like always how we see the research paper outline in a similar way. I think someone is disturbances I'm getting. So this is the title of invention, the field of invention, background of the invention, the objects of the invention, then summary of the invention, then brief description of a drawings you have to give, then detailed description of a drawings you have to give. Then in the patent, the main thing is your claims. Okay, whatever the 30 pages draft or a 50 pages draft or what you do, that complete thing will not be protected. The only claims will be protected under the patent. Then, so according to that, you have to write the abstract and the drawings based on your abstract drawings, and like the complete work, you have to frame your claims. Then the field of the invention, which describes general area of domain. Let us say, for example, AI or biotechnology or aerospace, okay, which the investigation, like which the invention which is belongs. So at the same time, which helps categorize the invention for classification and examination. And you have to understand the background of the invention. Okay, whether there are, like, when you are understanding whether it is having any existing problems or limitations or gaps, or what is the current technology they are emerging or using, and according to that you can set the strategy. Then objectives of the invention, which highlights the main goals and advantages of the aim, where you have to give solutions. Then these are typically we can say it as a bullet points. Then summary of the invention, so you have to give the background, and sometimes in the solution you have to give the detailed description. Then the brief description of drawings, if any required. So you have to present, and detailed description of the invention. You have to describe thoroughly each and every point you have to describe, and the technical details, and you have to give some examples, and what you are implementing, that also you have to give it to them. Then, as I told, the claims are very, very important part in the invention, which act like a boundary. Okay, so this boundary, inside the boundary, whenever you are, like if you are living in a home, means you'll be building a boundary. In a similar way, that boundary for your IP is the claims. If your claims are broad, then that much broad security or that much broad scope you will get. So that's why I suggest my scholars or someone, whenever you are writing a claims, they should be broad. Then life of a patent. The patents are, these are basically territorial rights. The life of patent is 20 years from the date of filing. So many inventions we are using, let us say for example, the pin we use, or the paper clip we use, these all are the inventions. They already completed 20 years. That's why they are free to use, right? Then the patent prosecution timelines, the filing complete specification is 0 months, and one after 18 months, the patent will be published. Okay, then the patent will be published within 1 to 2 months by paying additional amount, and the documents will be open in the public sector regarding that invention under section 35. Then after publication of the documents, the applicants need to file the request of examination, FER. Okay, so within a 31 months from the date of filing of a patent application. Then if the application fails to file the request of examination, REF, then there is again the procedure. Then the patent will be deemed to be withdrawn. Then simply the patent is gone. Okay, whatever the effort you put, everything, because you here, whenever you are touching the IP, you have to follow timelines. Even one day, there are some exemptions are there, but for some sections there are no exemptions. So you have to be on toes when you are dealing with this intellectual properties. And these basically, if the applicants needs the process of the application quickly, the applicant file request examination, expedite publication, that expedite examination under like according to some sections. So next, the patent prosecution, like under the basic under the patent prosecution, you can, after filing request of examination, the control will issue the FER, first examination report, that you have to see, and like you have to answer that. You have to address the queries raised by the controller. Then the applicant need to give the reply within 6 months. He can also extend a time later 3 months by using according to the form. Like there are forms are there. There are 31 forms are there. In that, according to the form 4, if you apply, you can extend the time. If the applicant fails to file a reply, then the patent will be abandoned. So like we have to stick to the timelines when you are dealing with the IP. So then again, like after filing the FER, the controller satisfies, and like if the patent will be granted, then he will issue the SER, secondary examination report. In case of hearing, the applicant need to convince the controller, the patent office, through video conferencing with the patent agent, or like with the patent attorney. So it will be done within 15 days. The applicant need to send the comments on the hearing. If the controller convinced, the patent will be granted. Then after granting the patent, every year the applicant need to pay the renewal fee. If you forgot paying the renewal fee, the patent again it will be disposed. Okay, renewal fee starts from beginning of the 3rd year from date of filing, and which you have to pay up to 20 years, because the patent life is 20 years. Every year you have to pay the renewal fee. If the applicant fails to pay this renewal fee, then the patent will be lapsed. Then even though if the applicant is paying renewal fee, the applicant need to work on the patent in India, and the technology should be available into the market. So then only which will be valid patent. Otherwise, the patent will be revoked or transferred to other person. Depends on case. If someone applies, then these are the rights in a different views. The patent right or the protection is for only claims. I hope everyone is understood. This is a very, very, very important point in IP. Then patent rights are given to the applicants, not to innovators, inventors who will apply the patent. Let us say if you are working in some institution, if the institution is the applicant, these all rights which will be go to the institution, not inventor. You are the inventor. Okay. So whenever you are applying some patents, so you should be the applicant come inventor. Simply if you are the inventor means that is not going to give you a huge impact. And applicant might be living or non-living body, and innovator the natural persons. Natural persons only they invent who are living on this earth. Then the inventor names will not be printed on the patent certificate. Only the applicant names will be printed. So for this, the special request is required. Then these are the basic timelines. Provisional to complete the specification 12 months, and request for examination is 31 months, and reply to FER 6 months. Within 6 months you have to give the reply, and if you have to file a form 3, 6 months, and form 5 one month, and withdrawal the application within a 15 months, hearing submission within a 15 days, and pre-grant opposition you can do before grant, and post-grant opposition 1 year. So these are the important timelines, and these are the resources available. Okay. What happened? Why? Excuse me. Am I audible? Am I audible? My presentation is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Why it is? Why my slides? No, these are not. Oh shit. Sorry for the inconvenience here. This is not a presentation. Give me a moment. I'll be sharing. Where is that? So far it's going right, perfect, right? Something is going into your mind, right? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's
Yeah. So now, yes, like because I thought like that was saved, but fortunately I did PDF. Yeah. Now, yes, exactly. We are at this position, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now it is properly looking, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So now we are entering into the part 2. This is a patent searching. So far, like what we have seen, we have understand about the patentability, what is patent, and what are the timelines, what are the rules, what is the required things. These all things we have seen. Now, this is another challenge. Before doing that patent, you have to do the patent search or a prior art search. Okay. So this is a part 2 of my presentation. So again, here, like you see, what is the patent searching? Why it is required? You have to question yourself. Okay. So whenever you are doing something, someone said, if I have to do means you will not do. Okay. Always, this is my recommendation to all audience. Always you should shift, have to want to. Okay. Anybody want to file a patent, he must do this patent searching. This is a very, very important procedure. Okay. The patent searching The patent searching is a process to find the technology which is existed priorly or not. You will understand with this whether you got some idea, whether this idea is already existed on this globe. You will be understand, because on this globe we have around 8.4 billion people, right? Today in the India, how many people born? There is a 63,000 to 70,000 people born. And in the second place, China, that is a 29,000 people born today. And third place, Nigeria, 22,000 people born. In the fourth place, Pakistan, 17,000 people born. Least to least, in Luxembourg, there is a 453 or 450 people born today. So that means you understand, these many people are coming onto this globe to file a innovation. The age is not a matter. Even my son or my daughter or my friend's daughter or my friend's son also file a patent. You got my point? So to do that, proper patent searching is required. Okay, why? Why the patent search? To avoid the existing technologies, to know the existing technologies, and properly identify the gap or novelty, or you can find the innovation opportunities, industrial applicability, right? You will improve the quality or the broader claims of your patent. Then you can reduce the patent rejection risk, because after spending a lot of money, after spending a lot of time, if the patent is rejecting, that means you are losing a huge amount of money in your life. Okay, time is money. So that is the reason you have to do the proper patent search. Without doing this patent search and simply on one platform, if you're searching, if it is not there, and if you are going to for filing, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of time. Okay, please don't do that. Okay, so before starting research, search patents. Okay, before filing a patent, search even more. So that is the key message I want to leave here. Will you able to see my slides?
Yes, sir. We can able
Excellent. Excellent. Then why every researcher should search patents? Because to improve their quality of research or a quality of publication or a quality of innovation, right? Here I have written approximately 70 to 80 of technical information disclosed in a patents. You know, so whatever the research papers you are studying, they might be frivolous. I don't want to take a name of countries, but they are writing nonsense. You know, someone who has written a methodology means if you read that methodology, you should be able to get the same result. But nowadays we are getting a papers. If you follow the methodology, even we are not getting a 10% of that results. Okay, to avoid this kind of discrepancy, or to avoid this kind of unauthentic, unethical inputs to our community, to avoid that, you should do this patent search. Okay, and you will understand the industry, like where the industry is developing the products. Am I right? So then you will find the research gaps and genuine research gaps. If you are reading 100 research papers, I am doing this, I understood this research gap means that is not exact research gap. In your area, wherever you are doing a research, in that particular area, you have to go through the patents. Even in the patents also, which are actively monetizing in the market, they are very, very important. Okay, so with this, you will avoid you can be easily avoid the duplication of technology. Okay, everyone is coming reinventing the wheel, means what is the point? There is no point, right? So to avoid that, we must have do the patent search. Then whenever you're reading the patents, your thought process and your necrotic brain, okay, your mammalian brain and your reptilian brain will stop closing, because your reptilian brain and mammalian brain always they want you to be in safe position. Whenever you are keeping yourself in a safe position, you are not opening your necrotic brain, and you are not doing right things, right? So that is the reason. Then when that will happen, your ideas will, when you read the patents, your ideas will bloom. Okay, your ideas will take different colors. So that is very, very important. Then whatever the patents you will read, with that you can develop a concrete literature and concrete knowledge. So that's why I say the research gap formula you can easily, perfectly prescribe by patent search plus literature review, which will be the strong research proposal. Nowadays hundreds of research proposals are putting, but someone who will genuinely find this, follow this formula, then they will be getting the research grants. Is this correct? Anyone?
Sir.
Okay. Then these are the types of patent searches. Okay. So different patent searches in a different objectives. Okay. There is a prior art search, novelty search, and patentability search, and freedom to operate search, and landscape search. So everywhere, like if you're doing prior art search, you will be understanding the similarity already existed inventions or patents or GIs or designs. Okay. If novelty search, you will determine the uniqueness, the novelty, uniqueness of the product, newness of the product you will understand. Then in a patentability search, you will be understanding the chance of obtaining that patent on your name. Then in a freedom to operate search, you will check whether the commercialization is that particular idea which is having the commercial value or not, you will be understanding. The landscape search, you will be understanding the technology trends and your competitors and who are working on what, you will be understanding. So, and again here the main thing is you have to understand the patent structure. Okay, so the patent structure, like which already I told as paper. So patent title, abstract, description, drawings, claims. Why claims matter, I told, right? Claims are the heart of the patent. Okay, without heart, we are living on this earth? No, right? In the similar way, the claims are heart of the patent or invention. So that's where you must focus while writing the patent on claims. Okay, so then these are the patent searching using some keywords. Let us say drones, UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, crop monitoring, precision agriculture. So these keywords I written here because my company is working on the recent latest products on agriculture drones and different other drones, defense drones. So I've given the example of these drones. Then even whenever you are doing a patent searching, you have to use this kind of brackets and inverted commas, and there are criteria. You can use or you can use and. Okay, so if you do like this, in a simply you can open a Google patents. Okay, so Google patents, in that if you search this, you will get the list of patents. Okay, so there you can use some different synonyms, and you can use some technical terms, and you can use Boolean operations and or not. These all you can use for the patent. These are the basic keywords. Okay, then these are the live patent search example. Okay, so you can open the Google patents. Now if I'll be giving a 2 minutes of time, everyone use your Google patents and type agriculture drone or whatever it may be. Then then you can observe. So, and you can take the screenshot and you can post it in the chart. So with that, I can understand how many of you are actively listening my words. Okay. So I'm giving 1 minute time. You can immediately open the patent, Google Patents, and start doing this. Your wish, whatever the product you will search. Like as per this method, you can use drone or UAV in a brackets with the inverted commas, or you can do something. Okay, so I hope people are doing right. Will you able to see anything? Shankar, Tony, Caroline, anybody can. Okay, so more 1 minute. Anybody posted? I'm looking at the chat box. Nobody is posted. Will you able to do any patent search? Have you opened a Google Patents? Anybody, any single person can respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so okay, I'll be
Excuse me, sir.
yeah,
Sir, I have a small doubt right now.
please.
Sir, can you show us the exact way to how to search for a pattern? For example, because when I search for a pattern, all I'm getting is from Chinese people only.
Yes, yes.
So what I'm trying to search is
Yeah,
like you
that's
said to
what like
search
we
for
are doing.
agricultural drone.
Yes.
So is there anyone from India who may have done that? Like, so how to particularly search for that patent?
There you have to give the keywords. Okay, so agriculture, okay, like bracket, first bracket, again agriculture, bracket close, inverted commas, or drone, bracket close, and India. You have to give the keywords. You can give multiple keywords. I'm going to show you that. Okay.
Okay, sir. Kindly show us, sir.
Okay, I'll be showing it. No, yes, yes. Yes, we are here, right? So these are the resources we have. Okay, what are the resources? The first one, I didn't give any highlight that mark because that is a paid version. Okay, Excel Scout is a patent searching software with AI integration, which is a paid version, but which will give very good. Okay, so then freely available databases, the Google Patents and ISPANet and Patent Scope from WIPO, and the lens. These you can use for the patent search. You'll be able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir, I can see that.
Yeah. Now we will take an example. Okay. So this is the after looking this image, what you can see. This is the toothbrush. Okay. Daily morning, everyone will wake up and first thing they do this brushing. So this invention is related to toothbrush. This includes an opening and closing of a cap on top of the portion. Okay. There, whatever the head is, their head of the brush is there, that will be supplying toothpaste. Okay. Then, which is having a rubber or rubber-like compression material or attached to the cap. Okay. Because that cap should be flexible. When you are pressing on to the cap, the paste should come to the bristles. Right? Whatever the brush bristles are there, so those brush bristles should get the paste, and like your teeth should be brushed. So this is the invention. So here you can see, whenever we are understanding this kind of patents, like for searching, these are the databases we are available, and these are the Boolean operators we have to use, plus or minus. Let us say, as I told, agriculture drone. So there, if you put a minus before agriculture, then the agriculture term will not showed in the showed in your results. Okay. So here again, the Boolean operators you can use, and the proximity operators and truncation operators. Okay. So by using these operators, by using this box, this particular table will be helping you in a patent searching. So if you want, you can take a screenshot. Otherwise, I'll be sharing. Then, so here you see, I have searched a toothbrush. Okay. Head or lid near 5, open or close. Same. As many as keywords you are giving, the number of results which are reducing. Okay. Initially you will see the 10,000 lakhs, like it will show. But here, which is precisely showing 4,788 results, right? So in the similar way, here you can see, once I got this patent result. So here you can see the toothbrush, a longitudinal handle having a hollow interior cavity adapted to contain the liquid dentifrice and open. Because initially I have given few keywords, I got this open head, brush, head, brush. This only it detected. But later on, you can see here, if I changed the keywords, you can see here, see head, brush, toothpaste, and reservoir, and which is refining the results. So here, entire the patent search, which will be depending on your keywords and how you are giving the keywords, how you are giving the input, that matters a lot. Okay. Then the patent landscape analysis. This is also one of the important thing. So a visual study of patents within the technology area. So what way which is affecting, or who is innovating, and which countries are leading in the patents. US is a leading patent. Okay. So give me a moment. Yeah. US is a leading in innovations. Now, if you are comparing our Indian patent statistics, so comparing to 2016 to 2026, which is drastic shift. But though those all patents filed which are not in the market, but the count or the understanding or the awareness which has enhanced tremendously. Okay, so to understand that, you have to, like, as a inventor, you must get the idea of patent landscape analysis. Then let us say now the trending area is AI and energy, renewable energy, drones, and electric vehicles, right? And biotechnology. So, like, these all are the areas, like, which will be understood, like, by doing this patent landscape analysis. And like the output of this analysis, like, you will get a different pie charts, bar chart, histograms, so that you can project. Then these are the best practices every innovator, every researcher must follow, right? So what are the best practices? Before filing, you have to do the prior art search appropriately. Then you have to do the patent search in a multiple databases. With a single database, you cannot rely, because that is not a guarantee thing. Okay, then you have to read the claims carefully. When you started reading the claims carefully, then only you will be able to distinguish between your patent and your IP and others' IP, right? So then you have to use some classifications, right? Then, like, if you go deep, the classifications are long. You can search what are the patent classifications. For example, for a drone, the patent classification is different. For a cycle, it is different. For a bat, it is different. For a fan, it is different. Okay, for a cup, it is different. So I'm having a cup of coffee. So here, once you do this search, you have to save those results, because whenever you are filing a patent, sometimes the controller may ask you on what basis you have did this. Can you send the prior art search? That time, this reports or this results can be shared with, like you can share it with them. Okay, then searching, like the common mistakes, like most of the people, the beginners will do, searching only bit, like little bit, or they will presume that I am the innovator, I am the Newton. Okay, so before Newton identifies, is the apples not came to the ground, or oranges not came to the ground? There are multiple times they came, but that time he identifies that, so which went in a right way. But you should not think that only if I found the Big Bang, or if I found a black hole, or if I find another planet, or if I found something which is high, that is only, they are only not inventions. Even a smallest of the small pin, paper clip, also invention. Okay, so on that reality we should work. Then always, I told multiple times, I'm telling, patent claims, very, very important. Every time when you are reading the paper, most of the people, they read, like, some people, they don't know like how to read the paper, but some people, they read the abstract and they will forget to read the conclusions. In a similar way, most of, like, when we are reading the patents, we will not touch it. Some people in the beginning, they will not touch it at all, the claims. If you people are doing, if you people are not reading the claims, which is useless. Okay, so then very few keywords. One keyword, for example, if I have to design a shuttle bat, then simply I will give one or two shuttle bat words. If I am doing searching, means you will not get an appropriate result. You have to refine your search. You have to more and more, like, you have to give the more keywords. So someone asked, simply, how many keywords? Because, like, your mind should be think innovatively, because innovatively means simply you have to choose the synonyms of that particular article, like particular product, synonyms. So you can put, and you can put the surroundings. Then you can funnel the results. Okay, so if you have to do that, then searching only one database is absolutely blunder. Don't do that, and you have to search multiple databases. Then assuming the publication search is enough, not publication search is not enough. Okay, so if you are following these best practices and these common mistakes, if you avoid, then definitely you will be a successful innovator. So the patent searching is all about research intelligence, innovation discovery, then risk reduction. Okay, so this is the patent searching. Then now we are entering into the part 3. So part 1 and part 2 is, anything went into your brains? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So now, research publication. So here you can see why the research paper matters. Honestly, I want to tell you, if you publish 1,000 research papers also, okay, you will get a great name, fame, and everything you will get, but you will not get a money. You will get a money, but also limited money you will get. For that, you have to convert your research as an invention. That inventions will get you the money in terms of billions also sometimes. So I am not disappointing the researchers to write a research papers, but before writing, before delivering a excellent research paper, if there is any inventive step is available in your work, and check it and try to file a patent, and that patent will get you many more laurels than research paper. But the research paper is one of the great thing which will open up you to, and which will make you live for thousands of years on this earth until earth. So that kind of recognition you will get, but you have to balance the innovation and research paper. So now we will see why the research paper matters. Basically, research papers, we are like, as academicians, we will write for the career growth, and you will get increments, and your PhDs will be completing, and faculty promotions you will be obtaining. Then funding opportunities, you have to put forth some proposals, means you should have a good track record, right? Good track record with a good results. Because like, if I have a track record, I did the research, means what is the evidence? The research papers are the evidence. So then international recognition you will get, right? The patents and innovations, as I was saying, then Scopus and SCI importance, because we will be measured, like everything should be quantified, right? So that will be quantified by using Clarivate Index and SCI, Scopus, Google Scholar, Web of Science. This all will be. So these are like whatever the points I have told, I have achieved in my career because of the research. So already I hope like you all have tried publishing papers, right? But I want to tell you only one thing. Don't publish in a predatory journals. Don't publish in a frivolous journals. Try to publish in a SCI, at least Scopus, with some good impact factor. Take 6 months, but try to do this. Make a comfortable mentor, make a appropriate person, make a good friends in research, then you take it forward your research papers. Then why research paper required? Again, where to start and what is needed, means we have to start with a very good lab or very good organization. You have to start, and what we need means we need very good lab, and very good people should be surrounded you. Okay, the people should be very open-minded, and the people should be supportive, and the people should be able to facilitate the infrastructure. Then the real research comes out, then you will be able to publish the real research papers. Okay. Then path setting, what to do and how to do. So what to do means we need a proper setup, and we need people to tell us, or you have to collaborate with the people who will be guiding you in a right direction. Okay, so that is very, very important. Then now, why the most research papers get rejected? Again, I told the novelty term in the invention, in the same thing. If you lack of the novelty in your paper or work, which will be rejected. Then if you are writing a weak abstract, which is not following a proper order, which will be rejected. And if you are not identified a proper research gap, which will reject. And if you are using a poor English, that will reject, right? So that is the reason I want to say, you have to be with a good people surrounded by you, then they will be able to tell you. Okay, even many people will be surrounded with you, but no one will like to tell you, because they will be having in that hallucination, I got this knowledge and I am the big person. But no one is a big person, everyone is a normal people. So if someone is telling you, and he is the good researcher. If someone is not telling you, means he is not at all researcher. That is my assumption. Then wrong journal selection, also one of the important thing, because in which area you are writing a paper, you have to submit, you have to target to that journal. Then plagiarism. See, if I sit in a stretch after summarizing my results, after initially I will do the framework, then I will do the experiment, and I will extract the results. Then what I do, then I project properly, and I will made a presentation PPT. Then if I sit on to write on a paper, okay, it will take me for a 15 to 30 days. 30 days. Okay. So first draft I can prepare in a 15 days at a stretch, and the refined draft I can write it in 30 days. So, but now because of this AI and because of unethical practices, people are doing like anything. So don't prefer that. First, I told you the figures, what to do, how to do. Why I have shown the table means we have to sit in a place. We should habituate to sit onto the computer, and we have to at a 3 hours, 4 hours. Some of my Chinese friends, they work for 24 hours. They will not go. Simply they will go to the washroom and they will come back and they will sit and they will walk. They will walk like anything. Even when I was in my lab, I used to sit 8 hours. Then after sitting 8 hours, I could not able to stick to that seat. But we have to. No, if not 8 hours, at least 2 to 3 hours at a stretch every day, which is I always say, which is a discipline. Okay. So then weak figures, you have to give extraordinary figures with a high image quality. Then poor referencing. So because of these all reasons, the most research papers are rejecting. Then this is the research paper roadmap. So initially, I think you all know, so I will not talk much on this. So initially you have to choose the topic, then you have to do the proper literature review. Okay, what is happened, what is happening, and what is going to be happened. These three things you have to include in the literature review. Then you have to identify the quantified research gap. Okay, here which will not work, something some generic research gap which is not accepted again. Okay, you should have measure the impact and quantification of the research gap. Then you have to develop the methodology. Already I told, some people will write the methodology. If you implement that methodology, you will not get even 10%, 20% of results also. So that you have to avoid. You have to write. If someone have written a methodology, means if I do means exactly I should obtain around 90%, 99%, 95% results. Remaining I can do the improvement. So that methodology is very, very important for the paper. Then the results and discussion. Whatever the results you will get, you should discuss in a very fundamental way to understand. The author should feel like one professor is there, Debesh Bhattacharya from the New Zealand. Okay, one day I was reading his paper. I was reading. It was a night 3 o'clock, because the way he is written on fire retardant materials, I was literally impressed. I was literally mesmerized. So that should be there. Though, see, everything is possible. If we think we have to do, means we will be able to do. Okay, because all our necrotic brains are working, but we have to open up. We should not always keep active our reptilian and mammalian brains open. Okay, so then you have to go for the selection of a journal. Okay, you have to finish the writing a paper, then you have to select the journal and you have to submit. Then from the reviewers you will get the comments. You have to address the comments very politely. Politely means you should not do praising. Okay, no need praising. Okay, you should politely, respectively, you should address the comment, and whatever the comment you will address, how to do that also, like I will show you. You have to use the color coding. Okay, in that way you have to send the reply to them, then they will be accepting and it will be publishing. This is the basic roadmap of a paper. Then requirements for the research paper, like already I told, right? Strong idea should be there and a strong novelty. Then good literature review should be happened. Then clear, profound research gap should be found. Then sound methodology. Methodology is the heart which is pumping the blood to all body parts. Like that, methodology is very, very important. Whatever the methodology you are implementing, with the methodology only you are getting the results. With the results only you are getting, you are concluding some points. So that methodology is very, very important. By using methodology only you are highlighting the gap, and with this methodology only you are writing the abstract, like everywhere. So that's why you have to concentrate on your methodology. Okay, and sound methodology should be there. And quality results, and whatever the results you will get, you should make it qualitatively. Okay, you should like if the results are poor in comparing with other research, then you have to reconduct your experiment, then you have to get the quality results, and you have to explain it in a spendabulous way. Then writing ethics, already I told. Then good language, the language should be sober and simple. Don't think that like you will write hi-fi writing, not required. A normal writing is excellent. Then you can use a good language and grammar and a proper formatting structure. Once you have finished your outline of the paper, then you can do the proper formatting. Then the references, every journal which asks appropriate research reference styling, so that you have to do by using, like there are some tools which are there, I will show you. Then plagiarism free content and journal selection, this is the thing. Okay, then choosing the best research topic, how can you choose? So first you should have interest in that area. Okay, without interest, if you are taking, if someone told you take this research, you are not able to do. When I did my PhD, my guide asked me to, respected, and he is my god, Dr. Sanjay Singh from Amity University, he is a director. He asked me to take he didn't ask, he proposed. This is the problem, because which is a completely flight dynamics, which is a MATLAB, I can do, I did, but my interest was, I am a farmer's son, I want to give some sustainable solution, so I took the natural fibers. So that was my interesting area. So in that area only I did my PhD, right? So I could able to produce very good papers, very qualitative papers. To write a first paper, it took me for 3 years. 3 years. It took me for 3 years. But I learned, but I made people to learn. Okay. So the first thing was interest. Then research gap. You have to identify the research gap. Then future scope. Then practical application. So always you should be very cautious where you are landing in the research, whether that area is active or saturated. You must do the survey. If everyone, like let us say if you're like, if you want to getting into the bus, already the bus is fully packed. In that, if you get, even if you want to get into the bus, what is the point? You have to struggle a lot, right? You will not get a seat. So in the similar way, you should choose a appropriate vehicle or a platform to project yourself as a good researcher. Okay, so then nowadays you can choose interdisciplinary topics. Okay, now everything is in, like previously also, which is interdisciplinary, but that time there were standalone verticals for each and every segment. But now you can take a interdisciplinary topics and you can work on it. Then, like for examples, I gave artificial intelligence in combination with a mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering in combination with a machine learning. Then the smart materials with optimization, sustainable engineering. Then there, like you will become a powerful researcher, right? So something is going right. Anyone can respond. Anything is going into your brain,
Yes, sir.
or I'm continuously not irritating you, right? You're feeling happy.
Yes, sir. It's good going.
Excellent. So now the literature review strategy. So how to search papers, that is very, very important. So you should not take your papers from our frivolous journals. You should take the papers from authentic and appropriate journals and appropriate platforms. Let us say Science Direct is a absolutely good platform. Scopus, which is absolutely good platform. And some of the reputed journals, they are the absolutely good platforms. So you can take Google, like you can use the Google Scholar, Scopus, Web of Science, Science Direct. These all are the search engines you can use, and you can get the good research papers. At the same time, there is a challenge. Once you get the research paper, and there is a challenge. Many people, even I, was like, I used to start reading from start to end, what to do, what not to do, I don't know. But once I realized, first I will study the abstract of the paper. Okay, if I understood, if that abstract found well and which is matching, which is in lining with my research, then I used to study the conclusions. Once I finished these two, then directly I will jump into the methodology. Okay, so then methodology, if you understand, there the gap you will understand, then you will be entering into the results. Then you, in that way, you have to quantify the papers and quantify your knowledge. Okay, then don't read 100 papers at a time, okay, which makes you irritate, or you will feel, okay, this is a huge task in front of me. Okay, so don't struggle yourself, slowly, but discipline is very, very important. Every day you have to do, like per day 5 papers is enough. Per day 5 means in a 20 days 25 is a 100, right? 100 papers you will be able to read. So but at a time you don't stress your brain will not accept. Then funding, like finding a research gap. Okay, this is the most critical part in a research. Okay, and this is a very, very important concept. So the research gap is nothing but a problem which has nobody addressed previously. Okay, if somebody has done already work on it, nowadays we all are improving the work, extending the work. Okay, but most of the times you can choose the problem, you can choose the gap. Nobody has worked in this particular direction. That is very, very important. It took a lot of time, but it will give you the good fruits. So to identify that, you have to understand how much data is available. If it is limited data is available, then you can work in this area. No AI integration which is done, then you can work in that area. And no optimization has done in that particular problem, you can work, like you can jump into that. Then materials not tested, then you can jump into that. lack of sustainability study, you can do that. So the real engineering examples I will tell you, so you can choose those areas and you can start your research. Then these are the research gaps. Okay, so fixing problem, what current research has been done, and what still is missing, and your proposed solution and expected impact. So this always makes a different approach than the regular or routine or the traditional research plan. So the great researchers always begins with identifying the quantifying right gap. Okay, so then again, research gap, for the research gap, initially existing problems you have to understand. Then what is the current research has been done in this particular area, you have to understand. Then what is missing, still what is missing, this is a point where you will be enlightening yourself. Then your proposed solutions and expected impact. So in this way, the research gap will be fulfilled, and the great researcher who's going to be start. Then again, the same thing I have given short way. Okay, then here these are the areas, engineering issues current. Okay, 15 areas from top down bottom, we will top down approach, we will see. The 15th area is a digital twin technology and AI based engineering designs and a green hydrogen production, which is having a huge scope, and waste energy and smart grid and energy optimization and renewable energy storages and earthquake resistant structures, which is very much very hot topic. The sustainable aviation and green fuels and UAVs and optimization, additive manufacturing, 4D bioprinting, up to 4D bioprinting, metal 3D printing, metal. Okay, this all you can, and predictive maintenance and industries and heat transfer and thermal management. So this topic is a phenomenal topic, heat transfer and thermal management. But this is a huge scope. Even if you go to Mars also, you have like the scope. Sustainable lightweight materials. Okay, so these all areas are having a huge potential to start up with your contributions. Okay, then basically, like, I'm not going to show you these pictures and explaining this data, this curve is going like this and this. I'm not going to talk. Okay, that is your responsibility, and you, whatever the results you will get, you have to interpret it. Okay, now I will tell you, like I'm telling you, write the research paper. Okay, this is the structure of the research paper. Any research paper you take, the best research paper, which should have a title, abstract, keywords, introduction, literature review, methodology, results and discussion, conclusion, references. If you maintain this flow to your paper, and your paper will be accepted in a good journal. Okay, so then how to write a powerful abstract? So this is a 5-line abstract formula I made. So the abstract should answer what? Okay, exactly when the author like you or me, or when the researcher like you or me, who is reading a research paper, what he is expecting to see in that 7 lines or 8 lines or 10 lines or that 150 words or 250 words. What is the research problem? You must understand. First, you have to highlight the research problem. Then why it is important, and what is the impact which is showing on society. Then what methods you used for that. Then what results you obtained, and what conclusions you are making. This 5-line formula is for every abstract. Is if you follow this 5-line formula for abstract, and first your paper screen, like the screening round will clear. Okay, when you have submitted your paper to a journal, the editor should accept, right? So to accept means your abstract should consisting or writing or written with this formula. Okay, Is this right? Any researcher can tell me? Excellent. Then introduction writing. Introduction writing also very, very important. Okay. Introduction is nothing but you are narrating the story. Okay. How extraordinarily, how beautifully, how nicely. If you say the story, if you narrate or if you interlink the story from starting to ending, then your introduction will be coming. That again, there only you will be adding your literature, and there only you will be adding your research gap, right? So the flow should be general problem and existing research gap, objective and contribution. Okay, this is the flow for the introduction writing. So I'm saying writing a paper is very, very important. Writing something is easy, but writing paper, writing your manuscript, preparing your manuscript in a structured way, in a formulated way, which is very, very important. If you follow this formula, your introduction will be excellent. Then methodology. Let us see here. This is my this is the experiment I have done. Okay. So first of all, you have to show your experimental setup. If it is simulation, you have to show the simulation. If it is AML model, if you have to show the AML model, and you have with the testing standards and the data collection, you have to show, right? So here I have made aluminum Inconel 718 particle embedded with a hybrid composite material. So first I took the epoxy resin, then Inconel 718 particle I have added with the epoxy. Then I have did the sonication and degassing. Then polymer matrix blending I have done. Then I have laid the carbon fiber and glass fiber. Then I have infused with the resin transfer molding from the bottom of the equipment. Then I have cured it in a vacuum for at the pressure, at the temperature 80 degrees centigrade, a constant temperature in the vacuum. So then I got the Inconel 7188 carbon glass fiber composite. Then I have tested on the UTM. Okay. So if now you have seen this, right? Okay. You can be able to produce this. Okay. So once the methodology, someone is looking at your methodology, he should be able to produce the same thing. Then only your methodology is valid. Okay. So always, my dear researchers, keep your methodology is excellent. Okay. If someone sees your methodology, wow, excellent, they should say excellent. Okay. They should not say good, they should say excellent. So your methodology always should be reproducible. So that is the input regarding the methodology. Then after methodology, you will comes to the results and discussion. So here in the right hand side, you can see two figures I kept. Okay. The first figure directly I got it from the UTM mission. Okay. The second figure, whatever the data I got, I have plotted in the origin software, right? Which is looking better, first one or second one? Can you type it? First one or second one? Can you type it in the chat box? For me, the second one is looking beautiful because which is properly organized. The first one, which didn't organized, which is directly I have taken from the software. So like my advice is that you have to use the graphs. That graph should be properly made. Then you have to compare your results with the previous studies. Then when you are comparing, you should be able to say why it is happened. For example, let us say sudden peak drop was happened. Why the sudden peak drop has happened, you should know. That is the research. Means that is a learning or outcome. So you have to add for that result, you have to add the engineering reasoning, like Because of what? For example, because of the material properties, or because of stress, or because of loading, or because of what is happening. There should be, like, as an engineer, as a scientist, we have to give that engineering reasoning. Okay, then your results will be doing miracles. So then most researchers, what they do, they simply they show the data, they will keep the figures, but they will not explain. So that will not work. So like I always say, I will tell you that the interpretation of the results, which are the key, are very, very important, very essential to your manuscript. If you are interpreting them properly, then your acceptance chances are very high. Then figures and tables you should make. You can see the left side first figure, okay, and you can see second figure, you can see third figure, right side figure. So you can see the first figure I have grouped 4 SEM images together, but I didn't give the labeling, I didn't set the borders. Okay, so if this kind of pictures we should not keep in our papers. Okay, we should keep in our papers this kind of picture, second and third. You can see how beautifully we have made. So high quality figures which is required, and proper labels should be there on the pictures, and we have to avoid blur images and use color consistency. Okay, so let us say even for labeling also we have to use the color consistency. Okay, for naming also we have to use the color consistency. So if we do this, definitely your paper is having a good, huge chances to publish in a good journal, reputed journal. So then the main evil came into the picture: plagiarism and ethics. Okay, don't lose your ethics in a hungry of publishing papers. Okay, so the very important thing, and like we have to tell our neocortex brain, is that we should avoid a copy paste, and the self plagiarism is avoid. We have to avoid as much as we have to try to write, and we should not provide any fake data, and we should not use AI for unethical operations or unethical writing. Use AI, but ethically, up to quantitatively use. Okay, then these are the very good things. AI you can use for the grammar checking, structuring, and brainstorming, but don't use for the fake research. Okay, then the journal selection, like you have to see based on the Scopus and SCI, Web of Science, and with their impact factors, whether they are following quartile 1 or quartile 2 or quartile 3 or quartile 4. You have to check it out, and you have to properly identify. The most important thing is you have to identify whether it is a predatory journal or whether it's a useless journal. You have to identify. Then audience high values this. Okay, so if you follow these all things, you will get a good value. And I have identified in my research journey that REF journals, ref journals, research excellency factor journals. Okay, so for this journal, like I have the list of journals, so you can text me or mail me. I can send you, or I can send you to the organizers, and they will share it with you. So if you publish in those ref journals, research excellency factor journals, you will be the one of the top rated scientists in the world. Okay, then when then like after doing research and after writing a paper, then what is the process? Submission process. So for the submission process, you have to write a appropriate good cover letter, and the formatting should be excellent, and you have to do appropriate reviews, and the response letter you have to write. So this is the sample letter you can see here. Then review comments. So how we have to, like I have addressed with green color. Okay, whatever the changes I have did, like I have addressed in a green color, you can see here. Will you able to see it?
Sir.
Okay. So, like here, the thing is that we should never fight with reviewers. Okay. Whatever the comments they are giving, we should never take it personally. Okay. Until and unless if some ghost editors or some ghost reviewers or some ghost writers who are intentionally doing that, will be, I'm leaving for the god, but never take it personally. Okay, so this is my humble advice to all my researchers. So explain to yourself, respond very professionally, and thank reviewers and revise them very carefully and very beautifully. Then your paper is going to be published. Then these are the AI tools we can use. As we all are researchers, we need some support. World is going with the 10x speed. At least we have to run with a 5x speed. So for that, we have to explore. Okay, whatever the tools which are there, let us say ChatGPT, OpenGPT, Grammarly, Site, okay, LSAT, Research Rabbit, Zotero, Mendeley, okay, then many more, right? Claude, Perplexity, right? But use them for structuring, supporting you, correcting you, but don't ask AI to write a paper. If you are doing that, you are doing the blunder and you are ruining your research career. Okay, my sincere advice to all my dear friends and colleagues and co-researchers. So my humble advice is that don't use AI for writing a research paper. You have to write, you have to sit on to the table, and every day you have to spend 2 to 3 hours and you have to write. With that, you are going to create a miracle. Don't publish 100 papers in a year. Don't publish 50 papers in a year. Don't be hurry. Publish 1 or 2 papers or 5 papers. Okay, that will give you a good recognition in REF journals, ref journals, research excellency factor journals. Okay, then these are the common mistakes by researchers: writing without research gap and weak novelty, poor English, no citation management, wrong journal. So don't fall in this category. Okay, you all are having a excellent brain with a great IQ. So we all are able to do anything which is like good thing. Okay, then this is a interaction activity. Okay, so here let's identify, like if anybody is interested, you can identify your research gaps, you can discuss with me. Okay, we will discuss. Then these are the, like I can suggest it, like what are the topics I have suggested, you can go and you can talk to me, and you will get a good ideas. Then this is a kind of a rebuttal you can suggest. Okay, means reply to the comments you have to do. Then understand the research. Okay, research is not only the publication, which is a contribution to the society and future innovation. Okay, so as a natural fibers guy, like I always, when I initially started my research, wherever I go, I used to think about fiber. Even I go outside of the college, I used to think. Even I go to college, even I go to park, even I go to everywhere. So I was mad at that time, like which was early career of my research. So what is the right output? You just think and work towards it. And is it possible or not writing a research paper? Yes, it is absolutely possible. Research paper writing is achievable. It is the process, if you understood properly, and if you determine, if you open your neocortex brain, then you are going to write a good research papers. Okay, then this is the future scope. Like I am offering some sessions for our researchers. Okay, so you can connect with me and you can get updation in your research career. Okay, so then this is my group. I always thank God Almighty first, and He gave the great opportunity to land me on this earth and to collaborate with many people on the globe. So I'm very happy to the institutions and to the people who are continuously supporting me. And finally, I'm going to conclude the session. My lines, I have written these lines, I have convicted these lines. Research and innovation is not a is a discipline, okay, which is not a simple practice or which is not a indisciplinary thing, which is a complete discipline. Here, you all are like very matured and professors, researchers, scientists are there here. But I want to tell you, discipline is nothing but every day we have to do time to time work. Every day you repeatedly you are doing brushing. So that is a discipline. So in the similar way, you have to sit onto the table in front of your laptop or system with a dedication. With that discipline, more precisely I can say it, results may vary. Okay, the results may vary at the each experiment, but person to person the results vary and the approach may vary, but the output becomes solution one day. Okay, so research and innovation is a discipline. More precisely I can say it varies like the results every experiment varies, right? So each and every experiment, but person to person it differs, but the output becomes a solution one day with a dedication. So this is my lines. So always I am available. If I am busy, I may not immediately answer, but I will answer. So you can connect me with this email ID and with these mobile numbers. So thank you for patient listening. So now the platform is open for questions, discussions. Feel free to connect with me.
Participants, any questions?
Sir,
Yeah, please tell me.
so what are the factors that can be considered to patent an invention or publish it?
Yeah, like as I told, the novelty, inventive step, industrial applicability. These three factors which are essential to be it as a IP. You got the answer?
Okay, sir.
Wow.
Any questions?
Feel free to ask me the questions and discuss with me, okay?
There's one more question in the chat box.
Yeah, please.
An advice that you give to researchers who are planning to file their first patent or publish their first paper.
Yeah, very good. An advice that you give to researchers who are planning to file their first patent or publish their first advice. See, don't think much. Okay, first think wisely and think innovatively. Make yourself very calm and cool. And whatever, if you have listened me carefully, so you will be able to do this. Okay, if you want to if you already listened me carefully, from starting to ending. So everyone can can publish a paper and file a patent. So that is what the discussion was happened clearly, because like I didn't show any rocket science, and I didn't show any jet propulsion or cryogenic engineering. I told like entire my presentation talk was, you will be like, if you have listened me carefully, you would have done. And more, for more learning, you can connect with me, and I'm conducting research live sessions, live coaching, so you can learn from me. That is available.
So there's another question.
Yeah.
What is the appropriate cost to file a product patent?
Yeah, yes. There is a government fees which will be there. Okay, so that government fees we have to pay. More than that, the professional fees, which will vary person to person. One person may charge 5 lakhs. Okay, so one person may share 10 lakhs. One person may 30,000, 40,000, 10,000. Okay, which varies. The professional fees is a 1,600 or a 2,400 or like below 5,000 is there. Okay, so for like it varies for a GI tag which vary, and copyright which vary, patent which vary, designs which vary. But again, if you are for example, lady applicant is there, okay, like woman applicant, so they are having some constructions, okay, and if you are a startup, you have some constructions, okay, so there are many routes are there to file your patent, so you can, like, which is affordable.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, one more doubt. The doubt I have is, for example, I am from the EC background, electronics background.
Yes, excellent.
So, in my case, if I wanted to, if I'm creating a product and I want to make a patent from it, so recent days the electronics have become too much easy. Like we can just put together some sensors and create a product, right?
Yes,
So can
yes.
I make that product as a patent, or should I make a new sensor so that I can patent that sensor, or can I make a product from already existing sensors?
You can make a product patent and the process. Okay, so see if it is the process is innovative, then the product will be innovative. So you can file a process patent as well as product patent. But already whatever the sensors, see, for example, the sensor is coming into the market means already they have patented, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I can patent the product, right?
Yes, you can.
So the committee won't question that these sensors are already present. So why are you putting together a new product, like it's like a engineering project? Why are you doing that as a patent? They won't ask me like that, right?
No. They won't ask. See, let us say I will tell you. For example, aluminum is there. Okay, in aluminum there are 20 grades are there. Okay, simply if you are wearing 0.5 percentage of the percentage, which is the entire properties which are going to be vary. So aluminum is a common. If I am using aluminum coil in the motor, if I am creating some new motor, is it not patentable? It is patentable. There I have to use aluminum or copper, right? So in the similar way, these sensors also we can use, and we can develop a novel product. Okay, so without using this thing, but you should write your claims accordingly. Okay, so means here you like what work you, like why it is very interesting and challenging means you have to read the claims of these all sensors, like whether the patent is available or not. You have to understand, right? You have to understand, you have to read the claims and what claim they have made. See, once the product is out means once the patent time might be done. Okay, so like nowadays the 20 years time is very less, because we can make, I can say that we can make, and we can discuss, like if any like a particular product regarding, like if you want any consultancy, you can connect with me and I can help you. I can help you out.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So there's another question.
Yeah, please.
Ethical issues researchers should be aware of while publishing their work.
Yes, ethics are very, very important. Okay, So if someone who is not ethics, someone who is not following ethics, initially he may grow, but there is a catastrophic failure is going to be happen, because once the aircraft is started flying, the lift is generating. The lift is generating. If I am keep on giving the angle of attack, what will happen? If the completely lift is going to happen, the aircraft is going to be fall down. This is what is going to be happen. If you will not follow the ethics, you will be caught, you will be blacklisted. Okay, so my advice is to the young researchers or established researchers or anyone. Okay, you just try to make yourself, research is a discipline, it is a part, how our nervous system, which is pumping to the blood to all body parts, in a similar way, you like, it should be your practice, it should be your practice, but ethical practice. Okay, so even my advice is that you can attend elsewhere or science direct sessions which will be available on this research ethics, so you will be getting a good knowledge. Or otherwise, sometimes I will conduct research workshops, so there I will explain more deeply like on this research ethics.
So there's one more question.
Please.
How do you evaluate the novelty of the product?
See, novelty in the sense, it is a newness, right? So the novelty, to understand the novelty, we have to do the prior art search. The prior art search also with a, for example, I am like I want to create a mouse. Okay, this is a mouse. So simply if I enter a keyword of mouse, and if I am searched and there is no result, if I am doing this, that is not a novelty search. Okay, we have to do the prior art search, and we have to understand the newness and what issue which is addressing, that we have to identify. You have made something like I got some for rice flour and some other different floors, and I made some mixer, and if I made it like bread or roast, I am developing a new product. Means no, which is already serving the rice flour and atta, which is already serving as a bread and as a chapati, which is already serving. If I am mixing these two, I am making one product, means that is not validated. That there is no new thing. The ultimate solution is our stomach filling, right? So novelty identification with the thorough prior art search and studying regarding the claims, you will be understanding about that.
There's one more question in the chat box. How the patent office checks for novelty?
Yeah, like they have advanced patent, like, because in a patent office there are number of patent agents and patent attorneys and staff. They are sitting, their work specifically this only, because they are having a like very good softwares, as I showed you. So in those softwares, if they upload this data, it will be fetch everything.
Any other questions, participants? Okay. So on behalf of everyone present here, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished resource person, Dr. H. Jeevan Rao, for delivering such an insightful and informative session on innovation, patent searching, and research publication. So your valuable knowledge, practical experiences, and industry insights have helped us understand the importance of innovation, patents, and quality research. Your clear explanation of patent searching using appropriate keywords, search strategies, best practices for conducting effective patent searches, and research roadmap has given us a better understanding of how to identify existing innovations, avoid duplication, and strengthen the novelty of our research. We sincerely thank you for spending your valuable time with us and for patiently answering all the questions raised by the participants. Once again, I thank you, sir, for sharing your expertise and wisdom with us. We also thank the management, principal, faculty members, organizing committee, and all the participants for making this session a great success. Thank you all.
Yes, I'm very happy. And like before closing this session, I want to speak for 5 minutes because I have 4 more minutes. Okay. So I'm writing a book. Okay. That book is the 4D effect on human beings. So always you keep filled your stomach. Okay. If your stomach is fully filled and you are eating healthy food, then your brain is working extremely well. Perfect. If your brain and stomach, they are excellent, then your heart is very happy. If these 3 dimensions are happy, entire your dimension which is going to be doing marvelous and creating miracles. So that's why, like, I will tell you, eat best food, drink lot of water, okay, then do good practices, then you are going to create a miracles. And always change your reaction to response. If there is any situation is happened, means situation is not in your control. Okay, for a situation, don't react, just do response, because there is a huge response between reaction and response. Reaction is immediately you are going to give. Response, you take a pause and you think, you will respond properly. So this response make a very good experience in your life. So I hope you all will follow my words and do great things. All the best for your bright future, and feel free to connect with me, and whatever the help I can do, I will do, and whatever the practice we can do. Okay. So great afternoon, like great morning, still 2 minutes are there. I'm very very happy. Like I want to thank the management of Saint Xavier's, and especially Bright, who connected me, Professor Bright, who connected me, and who made me walk through this. And I would like to thank Professor Indran from Alliance University, I think, who referred. And I thank all my colleagues and my friends and the research fraternity to giving this opportunity. Especially, I need a honest feedback from you all to improve myself in terms of public speaking or research expertise. Okay. So with this, I will wind up my session. So if possible, you can write feedback in the chat box. More 1 minute we have. Or you can say me, or you can say, you can tell me. You can unmute and you can tell, please.
Yeah, participants, you can give your feedback. Or you can post the feedback on the chat message box.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. That is what I want to tell you. Don't think, okay? Don't stop your reptilian brain and mammalian brain. Open your neocortex brain. Then you will be able to speak. Then you will be able to write a research paper. Then you will be able to do miracles. Okay? My dear friends, try to understand. Okay? So if you want any life coaching training also, I'm giving, so you can connect with me. And thank you. It is 12. Bye-bye. Great time. Great afternoon. Happy afternoon. See you. Can I leave?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all participants.
Great time.